What's popping, guys? You got your boy Nandra here. Welcome to another video. So for this video, this is gonna be the concept games for my Reanimator Shadow. So I've actually tried to record this like a few times, but like it's usually too big when I do it. So I'm gonna try to speed through it a little bit. So this really quickly, the deck list I'm using. Again, as always, you can go ahead and look for the concept games on this. I usually try to like make a playlist for these. Anyway, so I have 3 games for you so far. Like I'm like 3-0 with the current list I'm on, and I'm like not really 3-0. Like it's close to like 5-0, and then like I'm just like 7-12 overall. Like as far as the games with the concept itself. Anyway, first game is gonna be versus Portalcraft. So to be honest with you, I didn't really know what to expect from this. Like just because I didn't really have a good basis, but for what I thought was gonna happen when I played versus Portalcraft, just because like you never know exactly what type of Portalcraft it is. Like, but versus say off the top of my head, like versus say things like say sword, probably pretty favorite versus it. Anyway, so I kept the Lurcher Corpse and the Demon Reader. I don't keep the So Death though. I toss it back to pick up an Andre. That's great. I kept this just because like it's a good early game hand. Like I want to find my card draw now as opposed to later, because like later I'm not gonna be playing that. Like like if I get a chance for it to be convenient, yeah, I'll play it. But like if I don't, I'm probably not gonna play it, because like this deck does actually surprisingly play on curve quite a few times. So I play up the Andre here. I want to try to hold the Gloomy Necromancer, try to like yard a Zeus with it. If I can do that, that'll be great. Really quickly, I'll probably be saying yarding probably a lot. For those of you who don't know like what that terminology means, it's from both, I believe, Yu-Gi-Oh and MTG. This means to put something into the graveyard. So yeah. So here I decided to play up the Electric Corpse. To be honest with you, playing up the Electric Corpse here is greedy. It's super greedy, almost to the point of being a misplay. The reason why I decided to do that is because like if he doesn't have substitution, which is what I'm trying to like, which is like possibly the biggest punish for me. If he doesn't have substitution here, then what I can go ahead and do is he'll play out another creature, and I can just go ahead and just Necrosassin both those creatures away, and then go ahead and maybe say draw later. But I could have just drawn now and then just held the corpse for Necrosassin on 6. But so ultimately, I do get punished here because he does have the substitution, which sucks, but it's fine. Like it's better for me to see one now as opposed to seeing it later, because he is going to make the trade here. To be honest with you, he can actually afford to go face this one turn and then make the trade next turn, but he chooses not to. I do pick up the Zeus, so now I can go ahead and just toss it into the graveyard. Yep. Pick up series. So now let me go ahead and pause real quickly, even before I draw these cards. Well, unfortunately, I forgot I was gonna do that. But now let's quickly review my hand. I have a turn 5. I have a turn 6. I have a turn 7. I have a turn 8. I just need to find something to do on turn 9, but I have like 5 or 6 draws to get to that, and then I have a turn 10. So I already my opponent is already at 9 HP. He doesn't know he's at 9 HP, but he's at 9 HP. And I'm in a very good spot. So here, just Snap Evolves the Icarus. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Sure, go for it. So he picks up the Ancient Artifact. He plays a Cat Cannoneer. That's fine. I don't care. I'll take the 4 damage. That's fine. To be honest with you, I didn't really understand why he was doing what he did this one turn. Because to be honest with you, I think using up the Ancient Artifact here and just having a 3/2 as opposed to a 3/1 is better. But I could be wrong. I don't think I am though. Like, cause just thinking about like Soul Squasher into Lyrial Evolve is enough to full clear this board. Like, anyway, so here I play up the series. I just got to evolve the series. I did pick up Aisha, so this is actually really big. So one, as you know, I only play one Aisha in this, like, but obviously, like, when I have the cards for, I'll probably play 2. But right now, my opponent is actually literally dead. He doesn't know he's dead, but he's dead. Like, it's gonna be a few turns from now, but yeah, he is in fact dead. So all I do now is just really care about like not letting him get too far ahead on board. Because if he gets ahead on board, that means that suddenly like my plays aren't really gonna be as good. but now I have great play. So what I'll do here is I'll go ahead and evolve the trade here. The reason why you trade here is because you always want to try to get your free kill with this series when you can, especially now, and especially versus Portal Craft. The reason being is that even though he uses substitution, he might have drawn a second copy substitution. I don't know if he did or not. But if he didn't, I want him to invest his entire turn dealing with the series, because if he doesn't, it's going to heal, and I can punish him with other things. Like, a lot of people would like try to ignore the series, but if you try to ignore the series, I'm going to blow you out, because I have Necro Assassin plus I have Lurching Corpse plus Activator, and that is the Necro Assassin. So here, he respects the series, and he evolves to make the trade. I'm assuming, okay, substitution is coming out here. That's fine. But he actually trades with both things. I don't get punished in any way, shape, or form. He plays with the Fur Machine Soldier, but that's not good enough because it doesn't actually do anything. And yeah, like now he's in a spot where Reanimator is gonna like slowly lose the game. Like, he needed to be able to develop here, or hell, even if he did develop here, it wouldn't have mattered because I have the Necro Assassin plus Lurching Corpse. But here, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and play out Andre. The Andre was actually a really good top deck for me, because like I didn't want to have to give this up for and lose value off of it. So now I'll just go ahead and just do Andre plus Necro Assassin. This is great because I don't have to use my last Evo here. I would like to use my Evo on Thane. I draw the Odile. So now I have my turn 9. So I have all the plays I need for the next like 12, not 12, but for the next like 6 turns. That's a great feeling. Here he'll probably have to give me his last evolve, or he can just use the Ancient Artifact and I'll be fine. He could have played Machina here. However, he can't play the Machina here because he's on Resonance, and I'll mean they'll have to lose like the entirety of the hand that he's worked for. Because for those of you who might have forgotten, he's already used the Hamlin, I believe, once or twice, and I know that he has at least 2 Ancient Artifacts in his hand. So I'll go ahead and just toss in a Thane here. Thane, as I've said multiple times, it's just a really great card, because like getting it to just hardcast it on 7 feels amazing. Like, it's on a naked board too, so my opponent has to like work his ass off in order to clear it. That's great. I'll take that. He plays out Machina here, and then plays up the Accelerati. I'm like, oh god, no, not like this. So for those of you who may not know, when they have the Machina and the Acceleratium, if they play out a 1 mana unit, the 1 mana unit actually gains them back mana. So, but in this case, because he just made something a 0 cost, he's about to gain 2 mana, and then he's suddenly now free to play cards again. So even though he was tapped out, he can now go ahead and play a bunch of cards. He plays up multiple Ancient Artifacts. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm going to lose my entire board then. He will take 1 damage, but the 1 damage doesn't really matter that much. He plays out a Puppet, makes a trade. I'm like, okay, all right. Plays out another Hamlin. I'm like, oh god, stop playing cards, please. Yep, copies yet another Ancient Artifact. So now he doesn't even have to give me his last Evo. He can just go ahead and just keep making trades. Yep. So it was unfortunate for me that he didn't evolve, and that he didn't play up the last card that was in his hand. I'm not sure what it was, but it is unfortunate for me because now he's not board blocked. Generally, you usually want your opponents to be board blocked when you play the Odile, because you prefer to not have to make this a 6-1 and just have it be like a 6-5 or something like that. But now that's fine. It doesn't matter. Like, I have a great turn this turn. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just slam down the Odile. My opponent will get the Odette. That's fine. I don't care. This will go ahead and snap evolve. And as you can see here, I have a lot of shadows because like this deck, it doesn't really use that much necromancy. So I'll go ahead and I'll play my 0-mana White King. I'll go ahead and play my Bone Bug as well. You might be wondering, but no, I'm sure. Well, isn't it better to play up the Lurching Corpse? No, it's not better to play up the Lurching Corpse because I need to make a trade here, and Lurching Corpse can't actually trade into units unless they have Ward, and none of those creatures have Ward. So I'll go ahead and evolve the Bone Bug. The reason why I'm evolving the Bone Bug is because this is already an X1. It's an X1 versus my opponent who just drew 6 cards, has an Acceleratium up. Yeah, this is not living till the next turn. However, even though it's not living to the next turn, I want to go ahead and I want to put as much pressure on him as possible. I want to make each of these cards a threat in and of their own right, because like he'll have to use a number of artifacts in order to get rid of all of these, or just give me his last Eva. Either way, that's fine. Like hell, even if he clears all 3 of these, I won't care because well, he has to use so much to do that he can't actually do anything else, and that just means I can go ahead and just like start slamming Zeus's into a space. So I'll go ahead and trade here, trade the other way, pass turn, everything takes 2 damage, he loses his board. Again, the amount of damage that he's taking doesn't really matter that much, just because like Portalcraft has no healing. Like the only healing that they have is Cog Spinner, and not everyone plays Cog Spinner, so. But here he plays a second Acceleratium. I'm like, oh my god, stop. The good thing about this turn is that like I only because he banished my ward, I only have one other card only have one other card in play, so you can't actually gain that much mana off of this, but you can still do a number of annoying things. Yep, he'll make a trade here. He passes, draws 6 more cards. That's fine, because now he has a naked board, and I have a Depth's Dragoncaller that I can use to get back a Zeus, and I can play another Zeus after that, and I'll play an Aisha, and then he'll just die. So I've effectively made it to the late game. Yeah, I'm about to play Zeus, and yeah, the Zeus is about to die, because make no mistake, he has double Acceleratium up, and he has an Evolve. There's no way that the Zeus lives through this turn. That's fine. The Zeus has already done his job. Like, the Zeus already went ahead and hit him in the face for 5. That's great. I can live with that. So he'll play out the meta production into the Hawk Robbie to grab the Analyzing Artifact. It'll get Rush. We'll get mana back. I'll make a trade. Draw a card. Play another Ancient Artifact. Really quickly here. Alright, so my opponent just played a 5 PP card, and yet he's back at 7 mana. That's actually just, you know, that's the power of Acceleratium for you. Yep, now he's back at full. It's like he didn't play this 5 mana card this turn. My Zeus gets substituted. This is a really quick note. It doesn't matter if you if a creature that you revive gets banished, it doesn't matter because the original creature is still in the yard, and what you just got was a copy of the creature. So, yep, he plays a Happy Pig here, and then he snap evolves the Happy Pig. So to be honest with you, this is a really heads up play on my opponent, because if he doesn't evolve the Happy Pig, then it won't matter later. If he finds any form of healing, he'll still die. But now there's a slight chance he can live. Like, if he hadn't taken like the incidental damage from like the Thane, he actually would have been able to like live. But unfortunately for him, like all of the random chip damage that I put in, and that means he's just super dead. Like, he has to find he has to find a Cog Spinner here, or have a random Israfil. But if he doesn't have this, he just dies. Hell, even if he did have the random Israfil, I'm pretty sure I could still kill him. Yep. So he full clears my Zeus, and then plays out a Saphira. The Saphira is for a 10, which is really good on his part, because like he is starting to actually like do something. Like, before he was just like stuck on clear my board, but now he's able to like push some damage through. And next time I would die, but unfortunately for him, Aisha is cool. Yep, had exact shadows too, really nice. And he just dies. So for this game, like, you could argue that this game was kind of close, and that it wasn't close at all, because like I said, like my opponent was literally dead. I had him dead to rights on like turn 5, because I had everything I needed in my hand. I just need to actually like make it to the point where I could go ahead and cast all of it. Next game is going to be versus Bloodcraft. So versus Bloodcraft, generally right now, it's best to just assume that you're versus Dromingon Blood. If you are in fact versus Dromingon Blood, you're going to have a very hard time. The reason being is that like Dromingon is, well, it fulfills the role of is that one mid-range deck that kind of chokes out other mid-range decks, especially Shadow. Like versus Dromingon, like as Shadow, like if they get the Dromingon trigger, or if they get 2 Dromingon triggers, or sorry, if they get two Dromingon emblems, you almost assuredly lose that game. Like, it's very difficult to actually do anything after that happens to you if you can like get in any chip damage first. So my hand is great. My hand is amazing. It was the safest thing to keep, because I didn't know if he was going to be control or if he was going to be aggro. And this is just like, it's like these 3 cards just all around keep. I did unfortunately pick up double Lurching Corpse. Lurching Corpse versus Blood isn't as good because they don't play wards, and most of the time, like, you don't really care about the creatures that much. So here I'll go ahead and grab my free kill. I'll go and play the Lurching Corpse now. The reason why I played the Lurching Corpse is so that it's the 1/5. He can't actually bump into this to kill it. And while this is up, it denies him from playing out creatures that he would like to play. So he's kind of just forced to ignore it, and that's great. he plays out Pure-Hearted Singer. Additionally, because he played out the Lilith, I now know I already know that already kind of had suspicions, but I now know for sure that he's in fact Jormungand. So I'll go ahead and evolve the series. And even though I did mention it in the last game that you want to try to get your free kill here, the reason why you're not going to do that is because I know that the common Jormungand lists aren't the list that I used, and that they actually play that they actually play both Nacht and Belphegor for their mid game cards. So all of those cards can beat over series. So I kind of just want to kill his most like useful unit. Like the 3/5 series is still like a pain for him to get rid of. Yep, because here he has to go Hungry Horde and gives me a Razor Claw, and that's just, I'm like, wow, okay, sure. So he doesn't get rid of the Lurching Corpse, which means now I can just go ahead and I'm just gonna get aggressive on him. Like this is the trend that decides the game. Like a lot of people, they would just go ahead and just like hit him in the face for one with the Lurching Corpse. No, you have to get aggressive on him this turn, because this is the turn where he's gonna play Jormungand on you. So you really need to cash in the remaining battle damage that you can, because the only way you get more damage past this point is if you're versus a bad blood player, or if the creature hitting his face is a storm unit. Yep, he slams on Jormungand immediately. Like it's a no drawback play for him. Like I'm obviously not going to detonate this Lurching Corpse that I evolved, and I have to have Necro Assassin here. I guess Skeleton Prince would also be good. So here, I'm able to top deck the Zeus. Top decking the Zeus was very, very big, because this is going to be the only turn where I was going to be able to get into the graveyard. So by getting into the graveyard now, I can just go ahead and just set up my curve. Yep, next turn is Thane, turn after that is Dragon Caller, turn 9 I can find things to do then. Here, he makes a questionable play. He goes Razor Claw immediately. To be honest with you, you did not need to go Razor Claw, not immediately. I mean, like, I understood sort of why he did it, because he wanted to play the Belphegor, but to be honest with you, like, I think I would just said, like, whatever. Like, if the Belphegor dies, the Belphegor dies. It doesn't matter at all. However, here he makes a case for the Belphegor living or not mattering, because now I get put into an interesting spot where I have to play up the Thane, but a lot of people they would go ahead and they would trip up here. The correct play is to always just go ahead and evolve one of the whites, and not the Thane itself. The reason why is because, like, if you evolve the Thane, everything on your board is at 1 HP versus a guy that just drew 2 cards and has a Jormungand active. So yeah, that's not the smartest idea. Whereas now, this being a 4/5, because he's used so many remove souls as well, it's gonna be very, very difficult for him to kill this. Yep, he plays out a Lilith, then he plays out Scarlet, and yeah, just pass his turn. That's not the play, friend. Because now what I can do is I'll just go ahead and just land on Death Dragon Caller with the Zeus, hit him in the face, drop him down to 1. The reason why you drop him down to 1 is because you want to make it so he can't actually cast, so he cannot cast self damage effects unless he heals first. But what healing are you gonna find? I know that these that the neck deck versions of Jormungand, that the only heal that they play is the Scarlet, and they also play Massive Black Death. But Massive Black Death isn't actually healing you, and you do actually need to take the damage first. And when that mass pops, and I can make it pop, you're going to die. So here he just Emeraldas into Spider-Up Imp. So I'll make a trade here. I'll go ahead and bump into my 2/2, and then go face for 1. But it's not a winning play, it's just that I don't want to die this turn play. So he's still not in a good spot. I can still kill him. However, now I have a few different ways I can kill him, because, like, this deck does have a lot of incidental chip damage that's like from effects. So the correct play here is to 100% just go ahead and just Stinger first. The reason why you Stinger first is because you know that they have at least 2. They have a 2 and 25 to pick up the Odile. The Odile immediately kills them. However, I don't do it. I decided to play up the Lurching Corpse first. I believe that's because I already knew that I was going to like play up the. I was going to go ahead and either make a Demon Eater play. Yeah, I was probably gonna make a Demon Eater play with the zombie party to get rid of the ward. So this way I could free up the path for Zeus. But when I pick up the White King, I'm like, oh, well, look at that. I now have a way to kill you next turn. So I'll just go ahead and just zombie party. I zombie party to get rid of his 4-3, because this way he's still under a lot of pressure. He can't actually heal because he needs to get rid of this board. So yeah, that's not much he can do. Like, he has to find Massive Black Death or he just dies. Yep, doesn't find it and just dies. So the big thing about this game is that, like, well, I got lucky. I happened to top deck the Zeus, but even if I didn't top deck the Zeus, I still would have been in a pretty good spot, just because, like, he did let me keep up an Immortal Thane at full HP for some reason, and just kind of lost. And just kind of lost from that. All right, so now for the last game. This game is versus Swordcraft. So to be honest with you, like, ordinarily I wouldn't even show this game, just because, like, well, Shadowcraft as a whole versus Swordcraft, like it's just one of those, you're just inherently unfavored. It's especially if the Shadowcraft player is actually like doing the things that they're supposed to do. So just because it's far more likely that the Sword player is gonna like mess up a turn, or that their card quality isn't going to be good enough and just gonna be able to win. So my hand is decent. I have the Thane. Thane is so good versus Swordcraft. I mean, granted, it's great versus everything, but like versus Swordcraft, it's especially good. And so now we see that I have a great lineup of plays. I now have a turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, turn 7. So it's very, very unlikely that I lose this game, especially if my opponent just passed on 2. So when he passes on 2, we have to wonder exactly what he is. I'm thinking there's a chance he can be Control Sword. He plays like the young Ogre Hunter Momo, so I do know that he's probably playing a slower deck, and that's fine. Like, because now I'll go ahead and do this, I'll just go zombie party. You might be wondering, but Nandra, why would you zombie party there? Why not play Lurcher Corpse? The reason why you don't play Lurcher Corpse is because we know that, like, he's almost assuredly going to trade it into the Lurcher Corpse. Like, I don't want to give him that option. I want, when I play Lurcher Corpse, I play with the Necro Assassin, because that's just way better. Here he plays a Pure Heart Singer. That's fine, because now what I'll go ahead and do is I'll just kind of slam down Series. I'll go ahead and evolve the Series immediately. So I've mentioned this a few times in a few of my videos, but Sword actually has a surprisingly difficult time clearing units that have 5 or more HP, and that have less than 5 attack. The reason being is that, like, ordinarily in those situations you'd use Momo, but you can't use Momo on these units, and he can't actually chip this down either. So he has to like commit something like crazy into this, much like a support cannon. So when he plays with a support cannon, I now know that, oh, well, the way you beat support cannon is to put in more HP than they can deal damage to. So I know that next turn, most likely, the amount of damage he can deal to my board as a whole, both from battle damage and support cannon triggers, is 12. Like, but it has to, it's 12, but it has to be from Melissa. A lot of people think Melissa's garbage and aren't playing her. So the next most likely outcome is, it's going to be from a Luminous Mage. That's fine. I can play around Luminous Mage because Luminous Mage is significantly less damage. It's 8, and he needs to get snipes in order to full clear this. So I'm going to go ahead and evolve my Blade Fiend. So now I have 13 damage in play. Good luck getting rid of this board. Hell, even if he gets rid of just the Blade Fiend, like, it won't matter because, I saw the series just, kind of chilling. So he plays up the Happy Pig as well as the Frontline Cavalier. So this is actually super annoying for me because, like, he just got to heal for a lot of HP all at once. Like, he got to heal for 3. He also did make a board. However, I mean, I can already full clear the board, but now I can super full clear the board. However, I want to be cognizant about the amount of HP I have in play. So even though a lot of people will go ahead and just play out the Odile here, I don't want to play out the Odile because of 2 things. 1, Lancer the Tempest will go ahead and wreck the Odile, and 2, by playing at the Necro Assassin, by playing at the Electric Corpse and the Necro Assassin, this gives me 2 more HP in play. And it makes it have multiple units at above 3 HP. At above 2 HP. So I'll go ahead and do it this way. I still get my full clear, which is also another big thing, which also made it like no drawback. And so now it just takes 8 more damage. Yep. And he's still hard pressed to full clear all of this. He also only has 1 more evolve left, unless he plays Luminous Mage like so. But again, he still needs to win the snipes. He unfortunately misses the snipes, and so now he's just in an awkward spot. The good news for him though is that he was able to land the ping on this as opposed to this, because if he had landed the ping on that would have been super feels bad, and he probably would have lost the game off of that. Anyway, so this turn, I pick up a second Thane. So now this is like mega GG. Like you might be support game, but there's no way you come back from me hitting you in the face with multiple Thanes. To be honest with you, this turn I misplayed. The correct play is to honestly just ignore the 2-1 and just go ahead and hit him in the face. But I saw value, so I decided to go for the value. The reason why this is a misplay is because by hitting him in the face now, what that means is that when I play Odile, he'll go ahead and he'll drop down even lower. I'm already about to get 6 shadows from this, 2 more from the Odile. So if I pick up a 2-drop next turn, I should have the 10 shadows I need for the Aisha, and then the Aisha will just go ahead and just come in and kill him. But I wasn't thinking about it because, like, again, like, he's so far behind that I could just like press random buttons and I would still win this game. Here he plays with Lancer of the Tempest. I completely forgot all about the Lancer of the Tempest when I was like making these trades. Unfortunately for me, the Lancer, the support cannon from the Lancer's proc from the support cannon, it snipes the white. If it had sniped either this, if I had sniped either this or this, you would have taken one more damage, and I would have been able to just like not kill him next turn, but it would have mattered for me being able to kill him if I had played the Odile from last turn. Or would it have? Actually, no, I lied. It wouldn't have mattered. Anyway, I just go ahead and slammed on the second Thane, and I'm like, okay, well, good luck dealing with this, because yet again, I have a lot of HP in play, so he's hard pressed to deal with this, and it needs to snipe these and not actually these two. Yep, he gets a snipe. It doesn't work. He plays with the Gelt. Then he plays another Luminous Mage. But again, that's not good enough because, well, I just have a lot of things in play. He does actually manage to land the snipes. And does actually manage to kill off things. But unfortunately for him, he does take a little bit of chip damage in the process. Which does put him into range of my Odile, killing him next turn. He also had to leave out the white as well, which is also super problematic for him. But it doesn't matter because I just like I said, like he wasn't coming back into this game, and so yeah. I'll go ahead and evolve the white. So now he's literally just dead on board. However, for a little bit of like BM, and yeah, this was super BM. I go ahead and play out the White King, and then I go ahead and play out the Demon Eater. So you play it so this way you get exact lethal, and you're not just waiting until the end of turn button. You don't need to do this. I only chose to do it just because, well, I was feeling pretty BM, and I was feeling pretty happy because, oh, well, this version of the deck is working. But I'm able to just take the game. So the big thing about this game is that, like, I literally just played series. He couldn't actually deal with the series itself. I then went ahead and just not played Blade Fiend and evolved it, and he just like couldn't get rid of it, like because he just kept having to like roll the dice on like support cannon procs, and they just like didn't really work out for him. Like they could have been slightly better. Like for example, if he had won the first 50-50, the game might have been slightly different, but not all that much different. And that he still would have lost because I just have way too much value. But yeah. If you enjoyed the video, go and leave a like, go and hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Let me know what you think about Reanimator down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching.